From all unique combo decks, the Commando deck is the most popular and most consistent deck in the meta. After the alpha, early beta, this deck has seen a lot of additions and is now one of the most mature decks in Cards. With the card Resourcefulness, this archetype got a powerful addition, because this card allows you to search and draw specific Commando units. This deck's weakness is fairly obvious: removal of the Commando units. The most popular build is Brit Soviet, with variations in their ally being Germany, US, or Poland. Key cards include the number 10 Commandos, which are spawned from Night Raid, order cost reductions with 85th Pioneer Company, card draw with the Crusader Mark II, and heal from the card draw with the M3A3 Honey. Cup of Tea to keep all the units alive, and long-range Desert Group, Rule Britannia, and the Commonwealth, as well as Research as your win conditions. Mobilize was previously never good, nor was it really that popular. But with the Legion's expansion, 5th Parachute Brigade was added, another Mobilize unit with 0k deployment cost. This adds a lot of tempo and combo potential to this deck. Mobilize introduces a plethora of value potential in the mid-game and the possibility of a snowball effect. The most popular and proven build is Britain with France as your ally. Key cards include Potez 6311, which are able to draw while healing the HQ. In combination with the 73rd Régiment d'Infanterie and a Honey on board, this is one of the most valuable combos in the mid-game of Cards. Brit Air is one of the oldest decks in the game, being incredibly popular even before the 2019 World Championship. Its popularity was diminished after the Allegiance expansion released Flampanzer, an incredibly efficient way to remove the buffed 1-credit planes. The nerf to Flampanzer, making it unable to target air units, has spiked the power of air in the meta, making this deck one of the most popular and most powerful decks during the January season. After Flampanzer being able to kill air units again, this archetype has a rough time on ladder, but it benefits from the Legion expansion and the current meta shift with Germany and Flampanzer being quite unpopular. Air is especially powerful against ground unit-based decks that lack airplane removal or bounce effects. Most notably, JAggro and most Soviet decks lack these answers. It is also strong against slower decks because of how quickly it can develop a board and snowball on your opponent. However, because Brit Air relies on one specific unit type, Air can be hard countered by cards such as Sky Barons or anti-air guns. But these tech choices are rare and leave the deck weak in other matchups. Because bounce to remove large buffs and discard to target the low draw potential are the most effective ways of targeting Air, US tempo decks with Half Track and 99th, as well as German discard decks with Sudden Strike and Wolfpack, have the best matchups without needing to run specific counter cards. The most powerful version of British Air is with the Japan Ally, which offers Burst of Fire for massive burst and air superiority for tempo removal. US Ally is a powerful alternative with Greyhound, but it lacks the explosive power of the Japan version. The key cards are the powerful 1 credit, 1 attack, 3 defense British aircraft such as the Swordfish Mark I and the Gladiator Mark I. They create a strong board presence in the early game and work well with close air support to buff a plane into a massive threat, especially the Hurricane Mark IIA, which offers high burst potential with its Fury ability. Another important piece of this deck is Empire Strikes, which offers a cheap AoE which scales to your number of bombers and also damages the headquarters. Brit Control has a high win rate and is one of the most versatile decks in Cards, making it a popular choice in tournaments. This deck is a pure control deck and is very similar to the current Soviet control deck. It uses a lot of high-value guards, headquarter healing, and control mechanics. Brit Control is very strong overall, stellar against aggro, and decent against other kinds of control. However, like other control decks, Brit Control is most weak against discard, resistance, and ramp. Most popular build is the British Italy, with variations on the ally being USA or Japan. Key cards are headquarter healing effects like Honey, Mare Nostrum, guards like Bologna Regiment and Seaforth Highlanders, and high-value control mechanics like Carpet Bombing and La Decima. Soviet control is dominant, resistant against aggressive decks, and holds its own against other control-oriented lists. However, just like Brit control, it can succumb to decks that employ discard or ramp strategies. Most popular and the strongest build is the Soviet Italy version, with variations on the ally being Britain, USA, Japan, or France. Key cards are headquarter healing cards like the 845th Rifles, Mare Nostrum, guards like the Bologna Regiment and the 1st Rifles, and high-value control mechanics like Winter Offensive and La Decima. JAggro is the most popular deck in Cards. Most of the key cards are standard or limited, and in the lower player pool, it is always present. In the high-ranked meta, JAggro depends on certain powerful tempo combos or pure burn. This deck uses cheap Japanese infantry units to get the board control as soon as possible. The strategy is to attack the enemy HQ and force the opponent to use their credits to trade, while this deck wants to use its resources to target the enemy HQ. JAggro benefits from slow decks like Ramp and any deck with slow or an unlucky start. However, its natural weakness is anti-aggro, obviously, guards, and AoE removal. The most popular build is Japan with Germany as an ally, with variations on the ally being the Soviets, Italy, or the USA. Key cards include Japanese zero operation cost infantry units, Rising Sun for card draw, and 1st Signal Regiment and Air Blitz as burn damage. Special thanks goes to Team Ammo for compiling this month's meta report. For more Cards content, be sure to like and subscribe to 983 Media on YouTube and head over to the official Cards YouTube channel for even more.